Have you ever wondered why some people feel nothing special on their birthday? Not sadness exactly, not emptiness, just a quiet recognition that another year passed, and that's all it is. While everyone else is posting celebrations, throwing parties, demanding attention, these people simply wake up, live their day, and go to sleep. And society thinks something's wrong with them. They must be depressed. They must be lonely. They must have some emotional problem. But what if I told you that 800 years ago, the most disciplined warriors in history approached birthdays the exact same way? And it wasn't from depression. It was from understanding something profound about life, death, and time itself. Today, we're diving into why ancient samurai never celebrated their birthdays. And you're about to discover a psychological principle so powerful that modern therapy is only beginning to understand what Japanese warriors knew centuries ago. It's called mono no aware, and once you understand it, you'll never look at birthdays the same way again. Before I show you exactly how this works, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and tell me in the comments. Does your birthday still feel special to you, or has it become just another day on the calendar? This helps the channel reach people who need this wisdom. Thank you for your attention. Now back to the video. Let me tell you about a young samurai named Kaito. Sengoku period, Japan, 1570s. Kaito was 16 years old, training under a master swordsman in the mountains. One spring morning, he woke up excited. "Sensei, today is my 16th year of living. I've survived another cycle." His master was sharpening his sword, didn't even look up, and Kaito was confused. Well, shouldn't we acknowledge it? Shouldn't we mark this day somehow? The master finally looked at him. "Tell me something. Do you know when I was born?" "No, sensei, I never asked." "Exactly, because it doesn't matter." "Do you know when I will die?" "Obviously not." "Precisely. Because it doesn't matter either. What matters is this breath, this moment, this action right now. Everything else is just counting." Kaito didn't understand. "But sensei, everyone celebrates their birthday. It's tradition. It's important." The master put down his sword. "Come with me." They walked to the garden where cherry blossoms were blooming. The master pointed at the trees. "These flowers, do they celebrate when they bloom? Do they mark the anniversary of last year's blooming? They simply bloom when conditions allow. Do they mourn when they fall? They simply fall when time comes. You are the same. You bloomed into existence. One day you will fall back into nothing. The date you appeared means nothing. The date you disappear means nothing. What matters is how fully you bloom while you're here. Meditation on death should be performed daily. Every day without fail, one should consider himself dead. This was the samurai way, not morbid, not depressing, liberating, because when you truly accept that you could die any moment, celebrating the anniversary of your birth becomes absurd. You don't need a special day to appreciate being alive. You need every day to appreciate being alive. Kaito watched the cherry blossoms falling. One landed on his hand. "Sensei, if these flowers knew they would fall in a week, would they bloom differently?" The master smiled. "That's mono no aware, the bittersweet awareness that everything is temporary, not sadness about it ending, not celebration of it beginning, just deep presence with what is." Modern psychology is only now catching up to what samurai understood 800 years ago. There's a concept called temporal self-awareness, the psychological discomfort that happens when you measure yourself against time. Every birthday forces that measurement. How far did I get this year? Am I where I thought I'd be? Did I accomplish enough? This creates what psychologists call existential anxiety. The samurai eliminated this entirely by refusing to mark time in that way. Every day without fail, one should consider himself dead. This stoic acceptance of mortality underscores the samurai's unwavering commitment to honor and duty, even in the face of imminent death. When every day is potentially your last day, no single day becomes more important than another. Your birthday isn't special because you might die tomorrow anyway, so you live fully today, not because it's your birthday, because it's today. Kaito trained for 5 years under this master. Every year when his birthday came, he felt the old impulse to mark it, to celebrate, to feel special. But each year, he remembered the cherry blossoms. One spring, on what would have been his 21st birthday, his master called him over. "Today is the anniversary of your birth, isn't it?" Kaito was surprised. "You remembered. I never forget, but I never celebrate either." "Tell me, do you feel different today than yesterday?" Kaito thought honestly. "No, sensei, I feel the same, exactly, because you are the same. Time passing doesn't change you. Your actions change you. Your discipline changes you. Your practice changes you. The number of years you've existed, irrelevant. Here's what modern research is discovering about people who don't celebrate birthdays. They often score higher on what psychologists call present moment awareness. They're not constantly projecting into the future or ruminating on the past. They exist more fully in now. Studies on mindfulness show that people who practice acceptance of impermanence, the core teaching of mono-no aware, experience significantly lower anxiety around aging. Why? Because they've made peace with the one truth everyone faces. We're all moving toward the same ending. Celebrating the start point doesn't change the destination. But there's something deeper here that most people miss. The samurai didn't avoid birthdays because they were sad about aging. They avoided them because marking time creates attachment to self in a way that weakens you. Think about what happens psychologically when you celebrate your birthday. You're essentially saying, this day X years ago I became me. This creates an identity tied to duration. I am someone who has existed for 30 years. I am someone who has survived 40 years. Your worth becomes connected to how long you've lasted. But to the samurai, that was backwards. Your worth wasn't measured in years survived. It was measured in moments lived fully. Kaito's master told him a story about a legendary samurai named Kusunoki Masashige. In 1336, he fought a battle knowing he would die. Before the battle, his men asked Master, perhaps we should wait, perhaps conditions will improve. Kusunoki replied, the meaning of life was understood in terms of one's ability to find the right time and place to die. I am 42 years old. I am 25 years old. I am 60 years old. These numbers mean nothing. Today is the right day to die if I die with honor. He fought, he died. His death was remembered for 700 years, not his birthday. Kaito understood then. The samurai measured life not in years accumulated, but in honor demonstrated. Not in birthdays celebrated, but in moments where they showed who they truly were. This is mono-no aware at its deepest level. It's not just accepting that things end. It's understanding that because things end, the middle doesn't need markers. You don't need to celebrate year 10, year 20, year 30 of a journey that will eventually conclude. You need to be fully present in the journey itself, wherever you are. Modern culture does the opposite. We mark every year as if accumulation of time itself is an achievement. We celebrate aging as if surviving is success. But the samurai would find this strange. Surviving is not success. A coward survives. Living with discipline, honor, and presence, that's success. And that has nothing to do with how many birthdays you've had. Kaito lived to be 48 years old. He died in battle as many samurai did. In his final moments, one of his students asked Master, do you have any regrets? Kaito smiled. I never wasted a single day waiting for my birthday to feel alive. That's what mono-no aware taught him. That cherry blossoms don't need a calendar to know when to bloom. They respond to conditions. They exist fully. They fall without regret. You are the same. Your birthday is just a date someone else assigned to mark when you arrived. But your life, your actual life, is happening in every moment between then and now. And none of those moments care what day of the year it is. Here's what happens psychologically when you release attachment to birthdays. You stop using time as measurement of worth. You stop comparing your 30 to someone else's 30. You stop feeling behind or ahead. You simply are. And from that place of simply being, you can finally act without the constant psychological pressure of am I doing enough for my age? The samurai understood that pressure kills presence. When you're worried about whether you're accomplished enough. For 35, you're not fully engaged in the task in front of you right now. When you're anxious about turning 40, you're not paying attention to how you're training today. Mono-no aware eliminates that distraction. You bloom when you bloom, you fall when you fall, the counting doesn't matter. Here's your challenge, inspired directly by samurai philosophy. For the next year, don't count down to your birthday, don't mark it, don't celebrate it, don't make it special. Instead, every morning when you wake up, practice this. Today could be my last day, not in a morbid way, in a liberating way. If this was your final day on Earth, would you waste it worrying about whether people remembered your birthday? Would you spend it comparing yourself to where you thought you'd be? Or would you simply live it fully, with presence, with discipline, with honor? The samurai chose the latter, every single day, not because they were emotionally detached, because they were deeply, profoundly present. And that presence doesn't need a calendar to know its own worth. If this video changed how you think about birthdays and time, I invite you to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who quietly lets their birthday pass without fanfare. They're not broken, they're practicing 800-year-old wisdom. And remember, cherry blossoms don't celebrate when they bloom. They simply bloom fully, beautifully, and briefly. Until next time, embrace impermanence, live with presence, and walk the path.